Who's more authoritarian, the right or the left? First of all, what does that even mean? It almost makes no sense to talk about the right and the left today. Those terms were actually used during the French Revolution to describe people sitting to the right and to the left of the assembly. The ones sitting to the right wanted to conserve the existing model. The ones sitting to the left wanted to reform it into what they saw as progress. But if it doesn't make much sense to talk about the rights and left today, it almost doesn't make sense to talk about conservative and progressive ideas either. Progress is abstract. An extremely religious man might think progress means to become more religious and less diverse, and someone that wants to preserve the existing liberal freedoms will be a conservative in that context. Adolf Hitler, for example, saw himself as a progressive socialist. Most of our social divide today actually comes from far more concrete ideas: authoritarianism and liberalism. The so-called left can be much more authoritarian than the so-called right. For example, when he defends that Charlie Kirk should die because of his ideas. Communism is an authoritarian model, and so are left-leaning countries like Russia and China. But liberalism doesn't mean never to use force. It means that we only use state coercion to restrict people's actions and speech in a very, very limited number of cases. Liberalism isn't the absence of ideology, but rather an ideology that says that you may do almost whatever you want, and that the only limit to your freedom is the freedom and safety of others. That means that someone who, for example, opposes religious extremism because he attacks women's and LGBT rights is not really authoritarian or intolerant, but rather defending a very liberal principle.